All the flip phones, all the phones.
Don't come out here and tell me you're beating us up, because that's not what's happening.
We got 3 pit bulls at the location, blood on some drywall.
You can see there's a light wound here.
These dogs are very overweight.
That's a big stick.
Detroit, Michigan. The Motor City is home to the Michigan Humane Society, the area's leading nonprofit animal welfare organization. At its heart is a small unit dedicated to investigating animal cruelty. Members of the investigations team are preparing to work with the Detroit Police Department on a raid at the home of a suspected dog fighter. They may need special tools to break down the door. The Humane Society and police often work together in their war against dog fighting. It's a tough, dangerous job. The dog fighters often have close links to organized crime, and there's big money at stake.
Well, today we're getting ready to execute a search warrant at a location that we received information from Detroit police that there was a fighting pit in the basement. So we basically obtained a search warrant, and we're going to execute it today at the location and basically move some animals and see what other type of paraphernalia they have there as far as fighting equipment, for the pit bulls.
The first step is a police briefing. The police will execute the warrant. Lieutenant James Tolbert will be leading the operation.
I'll go in behind you. Nobody else is going to go into the house in front of the shotgun man. Shotgun man will clear all the rooms. Once you come into the house, wait in front of them. If there are people in the house, we'll pass them back to you officers. And you just pat them down, those offensive weapons, and detain them right there in the room. If we cross the threshold, we encounter gunfire, we will continue on and eliminate the threat. Any questions, concerns? Okay, be safe.
We're feeling pretty confident now, especially now we got the task force all assembled. So what we get ready to do now is make the location and do the do. More likely we're going to be doing a NIC, which is a not in custody warrant. But we're going to have to find out what type of evidence we remove from the location first of all. Well, we're hoping to find, a dog fighting pit, some meds, and definitely the property owner's name, and any other things relating to dog fighting, such as the journals and things of that nature. It's basically about money, drugs, and who got the strongest and the baddest dog out here. They be trying to give themselves some type of reputation by actually fighting these dogs and selling drugs, of course. They all tied in together.
The tension builds as the team heads towards the location. On the other side of the city, investigator Mark Ramos and senior investigator Debbie McDonald are checking out a complaint about a dog frozen to the ground. They soon see the report is not accurate, but the dog is very skinny.
He is like way skinny.
While McDonald tries to locate the homeowner, Ramos checks on the shepherd mix dog.
There's no food, water, no nothing.
The dog isn't getting the care and attention he needs.
He's got no food, water out here. Everything's frozen.
I can feel all of his rib bones, all of his bones. He wouldn't have made it out here too much longer in this cold weather. He's got no body fat at all. Nothing to stay warm. Right on the open side of the house. So all the wind's coming right through there. He's not really able to stay warm and keep his body temperature up. So all the fat is just going to keep a little bit of warmth that he's got going.
McDonald is disgusted by the dog owner's attitude.
You know, we were out here really early in the year because this dog had too tight a collar. Then we were out here over the summertime. They got the dog house. The dog was kind of skinny. They finally got the dog's weight up. They got the dog house. They got the dog a new chain. They got the dog a new collar. And all the ducks in a row. Everything was fine with this dog. You know, we finally thought after coming out here, I don't know how many times that we had everything straight out. There was always some little thing going on with these people, you know. Chain is tangled up. Well, there's no water skipped over. We go through all this, get them all squared away. Then you come out here and you find this. You know, don't come out here and tell me you're taking your dog in the house and now you're feeding this dog, because that's not what's happening. You know, you work with people, you educate people, but the dog should have to suffer in the long run, you know. And luckily, we have some concerned people here that are willing, somewhere in this block, they're willing to call us and tell us that. Because when we last left, this dog had shelter and was in good condition this summer. You know, we shouldn't need this dog.
The dog has been surrendered, but for the owner, the story's not over.
I'm going to take this dog in, have it checked out by then, and hopefully be able to take some paperwork to the prosecutor's office.
Police and investigators close in on the suspected dog fighter. And later, a Humane Society team rushes to rescue a dog from atrocious living conditions.
Man, it is something wrong with it. Bad sanitation, no shelter, and it's skinny.
When Animal Cops Detroit returns. On the east side of Detroit, the Detroit police and investigators from the Michigan Humane Society are closing in to raid a house. It's suspected that dog fights are being held there. The police go in first to secure the property and deal with the man inside. Now it's safe for the cruelty investigators to go inside and search for evidence of fighting. Owning dog fighting paraphernalia is a felony with a maximum jail term of 4 years. After an initial search, Lieutenant James Tolbert of the Detroit Police believes some evidence has been hidden. He suspects the man must have received a tip about the raid.
Well, basically what we have 3 animals that were that the Humane Society they're going to take for obviously reasons, because they've been fighting. The individual obviously has been alerted to the previous visits of the police department and the fact that this landlord was here yesterday checking the premises. So that's why we believe that the dog ring was taken down, because they actually had to do some work in the basement yesterday, according to the individual inside the house.
Investigator Sean Harrison also believes that what was a fight ring has been dismantled, but he's found other evidence.
We got like 3 pit bulls at the location. We got a little bit of blood on some drywall and also a weight scale. And basically they use that, you know, to weigh the dog, to match the dogs up, make sure they got equal weight, and then let them fight. And there's definite signs that they were cleaning up, you know, the location. But we got the owner inside, and I'm about to get a surrender from him, and we're going to remove the dogs and all the physical evidence in the location.
The team removes a bloody wooden panel that they suspect formed one wall of the fight pit. Coordinator Max Sharp has spotted other evidence.
We found a lot of paperwork for
breed, dog fight. I guess it's a part-time rapper or whatever. He's got lyrics about fighting dogs and shooting dice and things of that nature. He's also on parole. One of his lyrics said he's been doing it since 12, age of 12, so he's 23 now.
Little baby, I doubt if they were trying to fight this one because it's so little and young.
I think this guy knew that we were coming. He was tipped off and did a fairly good job cleaning the place up, getting rid of most of the evidence. Did they get those gloves? Got them gloves?
Pair of blood-stained gloves that he basically was talking about how bloody his dog was, and like he had to grab his dog. You know, grab no dog with no gloves. You know, it's obvious that he's been over here fighting. So we're gonna keep looking for physical evidence and get all my stuff together so we can go ahead and do a not in custody warrant.
So what we have is the kennel club and the breed line. Shows which each dog originated from and its parent, and goes down the line. As each dog has puppies, the breed line follows. It's just like the family tree. Dog fighters like to keep traces of what particular dog does what. If you have a grand champion, then the stock of its puppies are going to be a lot more because this dog is known grand champion, so it's a fighting dog. Just like with thoroughbred with horses, or any other thing that goes by breed, by lines of breed. When it continues to go down the line, you expect the same quality of dog in that pup.
Unfought puppies with top quality fighting pedigrees can be worth as much as $2,000. Dog fighting and breeding can be very lucrative. The team heads back to base. Despite the suspected disappearance of some evidence, they have a good number of items that appear incriminating. Back at the Michigan Humane Society's Detroit shelter, investigator Mark Ramos and senior investigator Debbie McDonald are bringing in the skinny dog. They hope to prosecute the owner for cruelty, so evaluator Jan Ramos helps weigh the dog as evidence of neglect.
17.9. 17.7.
He only weighs about half his ideal weight.
You know, it's not so much just the cold, it's lack of food and water. You know, nobody's been giving this dog any food and water on a regular basis, otherwise he wouldn't be in this condition. You know, you can have a short-haired dog, small dog, outside with a dog house, and they do just fine when you take care of them. It's when you don't feed and water them every day that they get like this. I mean, the way he's eating, nobody's feeding and watering him every day.
Did you say he had a name?
Tennis.
Tennis? There's two? You want it? You sit?
Tennis needs vaccinations to protect his health. He's friendly and takes everything in stride. From now on, he'll get regular meals. If he gains weight, it will add to the evidence that he wasn't being fed properly before and help support a cruelty prosecution.
We're going to have a vet look at him. We'll put him on a weight gain program. Provided he doesn't have anything medically wrong with him, he'll put a few pounds on here. We'll give him some food and water, set him up for the night, and hopefully after he gains some weight, we can find him a good home.
At the Michigan Humane Society shelter in Detroit, cruelty investigators are arriving with the suspected fighting dogs seized during a raid.
What's up, baby?
The investigators found dog fighting paraphernalia at the property. Now they need the Humane Society's vet to examine the dogs and confirm whether their injuries are fight wounds. If they are, it will help to build up the case for prosecuting the dog's owner. Investigator Sean Hairston briefs Dr. Patricia Madsen.
What's the story?
Well, we've executed a search warrant at the location. removed evidence, and also we have some dogs here that
Is this
family been fighting.
okay? Is this one dog?
And we got two of the, yeah.
Light right there.
The staff is shocked that such a tiny puppy has bite wounds.
You can see there's a small bite wound here. Also looks like there's been some other chewing on the face. There weren't any other puppies?
No.
No. Okay. This dog is a little bit thin. You can see its ribs, and then more so if you look at the face, you can see evidence of fighting. I don't know if these are real fresh wounds.
What's up? You want on the back side?
But you can see scars where this dog has had bite wounds. And here's a fresher one here. It doesn't look real infected yet, and it doesn't smell. So I think it is relatively fresh. So that would fit with the history. Yeah, this one looks like it's got older wounds also. Even in here, these look like old wounds from biting. You know, the ears, the face. It's pretty classic for the fighting dogs.
Dr. Manson feels the evidence from the wounds is conclusive.
Well, there's no other injuries that cause those kind of wounds. It's pretty straightforward.
Though the case for prosecuting looks strong, sadly there's no future for the dogs.
Well, unfortunately, they will be euthanized because they are unadoptable. I mean, they have old wounds, they have been fought, so it wouldn't be ethical for us to try to place them in homes knowing they have that behavior. We all know it's a tough decision, but unfortunately it's one we have to make every day just for everyone's safety and the dogs included, so they don't end up fighting again and in this situation.
Later, Harrison and investigator Mike Dow head back out on the road to deal with an urgent call.
Okay, we received a complaint on the voicemail. All they stated was dogs are being kept outside. They didn't state the condition of the dogs, but they did say they were being kept in unsanitary condition. So what we're going to do is go see if we can make contact with the pet owner, observe the dog's condition, see what type of corrections need to be made, or if we just need to remove some animals from this location.
Harrison checks out the dog he spotted,
So Rottweiler.
while Dow makes contact with the homeowner.
We're investigators with the Michigan Humane Society. Somebody called and made a complaint about they say an unknown number of dogs over here supposed to be in bad shape.
No, we only got one dog.
Just one.
I got it from a lady, and
Look, all we need to do is talk to the pet owner. There ain't nothing wrong. We out here, man.
The man says he got the dog from an elderly woman who could no longer care for her.
There is something wrong with it.
But Dow is unhappy with the care she's getting now.
First off, that's not adequate shelter. You gotta have a dog house for it.
okay, the dog will not pick up weight. That's why she gave it away to me.
How long ago was that?
This right here was 2 weeks ago.
You got a few things. Bad sanitation, no shelter, no food, water out there, and it's skinny.
To keep you from being in trouble, it's the best thing for y'all to take it.
That'll be the best way.
Okay. Jada.
The man agrees to surrender the dog, which is named Jado.
Just need you to sign here.
While Dow talks to the man, Hairston sees there's a second dog for the investigators to worry about.
I just received some information from the neighbors stating that both dogs reside at this address. And what I just did, I gave him a leash and see if this dog would come to him. And it's coming to him. These dogs are very underweight. And he told me he take care of them. Okay, look, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull up so you won't be getting wet, all right?
The second dog came willingly to the man, and he seems to have a name, Boy. It makes Hairston suspicious.
Yeah, big boy. What you calling that boy dog? What you calling him? That ain't my dog. Okay. He came out here to me. Hey, boy.
like that. That dog was running loose up and down the street. So I had asked the gentleman if he know the dog. He said the dog comes to him, which is an obvious sign that he's been caring for that dog as well, due to the fact that when I approached the dog took off. And wouldn't come close to nobody. Even when I threw the food down there, the dog wouldn't even come close to the food. But it came straight to him.
Back at the shelter, the priority is to get the dogs some food and clean, warm living conditions as quickly as possible.
Well, thus far, their temperament seems to be all right. But they're definitely underweight. And you can tell they've been living in their own filth because they have a stench to them that's driving me crazy. Come on, mules. Let's go. Come on. Come on, mules.
Evaluator Jan Ramos is on hand to assess the dogs.
Hey.
Hey guys! Uh-oh. You smelled the garbage can.
Yeah, he was running loose.
They're underweight. We're gonna see if we can get a little bit of weight on them. See what's going on with them. Get some fecals to see if there's any parasites. Their temperament's real nice. I'll give you guys a couple days. Some fat on you. That's all he's interested right now. He thinks everything is food. I know. So I will bring you a couple bowls of food. I'll meet you in the kennels. Okay?
Come on. Let's go. This way.
A full health evaluation will be done later. But on first appearances, it looks as if both dogs should recover fully from their poor living conditions. Ronalds and McDonald help Hairston and Dow with a very large reptile.
That's a big snake.
That's a big snake.
And what does the future hold for Tennis, the skinny shepherd mix? Find out when Animal Cops Detroit returns. Out on the road, Investigator Mark Ramos and Senior Investigator Debbie McDonald are following up on a rather vague phone call.
We're heading out to a complaint that we received. It's supposed to be a dog tied up with a green rope at this location with no shelter. The caller didn't leave any information as to what type of dog we're looking for other than it's tied up. So hopefully when we get out there we can talk to somebody, make contact with the owner and advise them of any necessary corrections.
As they pull up, they see a puppy.
I don't think he loves us. Hey, baby. There you go. What's he doing? Oh. Come here.
I don't think anybody's here.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, you little silly dog.
String and fabric and wires and cables and collars.
Come here. See if we can snag him. I mean, he's running loose. He's got so much stuff tied around his neck, you can't even tell if it's embedded or what it's doing. He's got an extension cord on his neck, a piece of chain.
The puppy is running loose and has no shelter. The investigators feel it's best to take her.
The yard isn't closed. He's up on the back porch, so we may have to turn him.
If she has an owner who cares about her, she can easily be reclaimed from the Humane Society.
Did you get caught? You did. I don't know what's on. He's got Christmas tree lights tied around his neck. God,
Christmas tree light? Oh, that's good.
he has an extension cord, yellow rope, Christmas tree lights, a piece of flannel fabric, and a little bit of everything around his neck. And a flea collar. Everything but a dog collar.
Nothing's good.
No, but you know.
He's definitely the poster child for in-house artillery, man.
Yeah. And one or two, they're going to wonder how come his neck got cut, you know?
Ramos and McDonald often see severe neck injuries caused by cables and ill-fitting collars. By acting now, they aim to prevent this case from turning serious.
He's a sweet puppy. He's silly. He just wants to play. His owners obviously don't know how to properly care for him. And he doesn't have any shelter outside. Not to mention the fact that he's running at large. You know, you get hit by a car, you know, picked up by, you know, a lot of dog fighters in this area. Who knows what could happen to a little puppy like that?
At the shelter, McDonald takes the puppy in for evaluation by Jan Ramos.
We need anybody to look at it, or
No, we just need to
vaccination?
take up his Christmas tree lights.
And then he's got like all kinds of things tied on his neck.
He's got Christmas tree lights.
He probably kept chewing around and they kept just taking him off. They just kept putting stuff on him. He wants to say something like that. He's 5 months old. He's a child.
Nothing better?
Nothing better. They were just stuck to something.
Yeah.
Could have been tied up with this one.
There you go.
Presents, man. 2, 3, 4, 5 different things.
Christmas lights, jumper cables.
This is ridiculous. Yeah. Christmas lights.
Just to tie him up
Just to tie
outside.
him up. There was phone cords out there from a cell phone.
You know what? Because he's a little bit scared, why don't you settle and put him in the inside line and not find out what he's
How old do you think?
5 months.
A little shepherd choppers, maybe?
Oh, we're going to hold him as a stray. And then we'll be able to evaluate him for adoption.
Between his house, or her house, I should say, and here, it's gotten scared. But I mean, out there it's very friendly, you know. So I don't see why they stopped at that home. It's a really nice puppy, and there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it medically. So after 7 days, we're going for adoption.
The puppy was soon adopted into a new home. Michigan Humane Society investigators Debbie McDonald and Mark Ramos are dealing with routine calls on the west side of Detroit when their colleagues on the east side ask for help.
We're heading out to assist East Unit with a call they just received. There's supposed to be a 12-foot snake inside of a house that was on fire in their apartment. The fire department put out the fire and discovered the snake in there. We're going to go assist them. They don't really care for dealing with snakes and reptiles too much. So since we don't mind doing it, we're going to go over here and assist them get the snake out.
Way cool.
Investigator Sean Harrison briefs Ramos and McDonald. The snake's owner isn't at the apartment, but Harrison has secured an agreement to surrender it to the Humane Society.
We're going to take cat grabbers?
Or something? You got to take a look at it. If my hands are going to here. Alright, watch this floor, because it ain't very good. That's a big snake.
That's a big snake.
So here we go. This is what we do.
Grab him. I got it.
Stick it in there, just to hold his head down long enough for me to grab him.
Yep.
It's an 11-foot-long Burmese python. Harrison and investigator Mike Dow are very relieved that Ramos enjoys dealing with snakes.
She got a whole lot of burns from
The snake will be safer and more comfortable for her journey if she's removed from the cage and tied in a cloth bag.
That is some nasty water in there. This thing fit in there for me. It's ice cold too. Hold this part up. Alright, I'm gonna get all of this in there so it doesn't come out. Just wrapping around right there, just below where I got it.
Everything's in there, so we just tie.
Well, not a tour.
There's a head record. They ain't gonna get you.
Can't see it.
Yeah, if I can't see it, I'm safe.
Yeah, okay. All right, see you.
There's no see, no bite, right?
All righty. Need more help? Yeah, sure. Dang old thing now. I got a good find for you. All right, we're gonna just grab it into something.
Yeah, it's a stick.
All right.
There we go.
I am very fearful of snakes. I mean, I can't stand to touch them because they slimy and they, I'm scared. So I had to call for backup because I can't even take that snake up. Plus, it's a large snake. And I'm happy we got someone that can basically handle reptiles because I tried to back the whole cage out of here without moving the snake. So I'm happy we got somebody to come help.
We'll take them back, and the evaluators check them out, and what they'll do is they'll just talk to the Rochester department. They've got a wildlife section, so they can hold him. They've got all the proper equipment and everything out there.
Thank you, AT.
Back at the Humane Society shelter in Detroit, evaluator E.B. Rawson is checking up on Tennis, the skinny shepherd mix which had been left outside with no food or water.
He has a lot of energy. He's gained about 6 or 7 pounds since he's been here. Hasn't been here, I believe, less than a week. So he's doing pretty good. But he's full of energy.
The dog's weight gain adds to the evidence of neglect by his former owner. The investigators can pursue their case.
You know what? Believe it or not, even when humans treat them bad and they end up in a bad condition, they still like us. They're still friendly to us. If we can get them evaluated, we can probably get them into a foster home so he gains his weight and come back and place him up for adoption.
Tennis continued to do well and was later adopted into a caring home. Just over 2 weeks ago, investigators removed 2 skinny Rottweilers from very poor living conditions. Now, both dogs have passed their health checks and benefited from regular meals. Jado has been renamed Java, and evaluator Jan Ramos is pleased with her progress.
Right now in the dog park, we have Bo and Java. Bo's name was originally Boy when he came in, but we just felt it didn't match his personality, so we call him Bo now. They're doing both really well. They've been at the shelter for about 2.5 weeks right now. They're gaining weight really well, and both of them are going up for adoption today. We're hoping to be able to find them homes.
Java's former owner surrendered his dog and recognized the conditions were poor. So the Humane Society has decided not to take any further action against him. The focus now is on training the dogs and finding suitable homes for them. The Burmese python rescued from an apartment is being cared for at the Michigan Humane Society shelter at Rochester Hills. Shelter manager Jan Campbell has examined her thoroughly.
We've weighed the snake. It's 58 pounds. It's got very good body weight. The body condition is good, but she does have an upper respiratory infection, which could turn into pneumonia, so we're treating her with antibiotics. And then, hopefully, once she's healthy, we'll try and find a placement for her. That will be the hardest thing to do. We need to find an accredited zoo or sanctuary. As you can see from the size of her, she's not fully grown yet. At least 2 people should always be in attendance with a snake this size, even, maybe 3. Because if she wrapped around you, you wouldn't be able to uncoil her by yourself. She could grow to be 25 feet long, and she's 11 feet long now, so she's half that potential size. And really it depends on how well she's taken care of as whether she reaches her potential or not. We don't like people to have large snakes. They're not good pets. They're dangerous, and they don't belong in people's homes.
downtown Detroit, investigators Mike Dow and Sean Hairston are heading for the courthouse.
Well, I'm getting a warrant approved that we had basically executed a search warrant on at a dog fighting location, and we're going in here today to get it approved and signed by the judge so we can take it to the precinct and basically get this warrant issued for the person's arrest.
The investigators need the signature of Magistrate Margaret Baylor to validate the arrest warrant issued by the prosecutor's office.
Come in. Hi, how are you? How are you both? Okay, good to see you again.
Good to be here.
Okay, what do we have here?
Okay, well, I have a warrant here that basically was to be signed.
All right.
So we did a search warrant at a location.
Okay.
Basically, we had took up dog fighting paraphernalia and a couple of dogs that was basically used for fighting.
Oh, I see. Did you take the dogs out?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, how many did you?
It was 3 dogs
Three
at
dogs.
the location.
3 dogs at one location.
Yes, and
Okay.
he was even fighting a puppy.
Even a puppy. Yeah, and I see you showing here the wounds that the dogs received in the fighting. Okay. All right. If this okay, this is a yeah. I see the count one. The fighting animals and having the animal equipment is a 4-year felony.
Yes.
I see there's also a misdemeanor count.
The man is to be arrested for failing to get his dog's injuries treated, as well as for owning the fight paraphernalia. Now, the investigators will work with Detroit police to ensure that the man is brought to justice. A team of police and investigators go to arrest the former owner of tennis, the Shepherd mix. And will Bo, the skinny Rottweiler, recover from his neglected past? Find out when Animal Cops Detroit returns. It's been several months since Michigan Humane Society senior investigator Debbie McDonald removed Tennis, the skinny dog, from a home on Detroit's west side. Now she's returning to the location with investigator Sean Hairston and undercover officers from the Detroit police. They have a warrant to arrest the dog's former owner.
We're out with the Detroit police raid crew, and we're en route to a location that we moved the dog from. The dog was outside. Time the weather was really cold, like 10 degrees. The dog was skin and bones. We have been in this house before. Now we're going out there. We got a warrant for arrest, and hopefully she'll be there. We could have picked up. When I saw this dog in this condition next to this house, I was mad. We talked to her about, how to properly put a collar on a dog, what kind of shelter the dog needed, what kind of diet the dog needed, and she had made those corrections, and the dog was looking good. And then to come back out here and see that dog out there all skinny, and she didn't even seem to think it was a problem. It's very important that you pursue this all the way through, because you don't want her to get another dog and do the same thing again, because she still doesn't have a clue.
Right here?
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah.
The police team is led by Lieutenant James Toller. He prepares to make the arrest. If the woman is convicted of misdemeanor animal cruelty, she could face up to a $1,000 fine, 200 hours community service, and up to 93 days in jail. But there's a problem. She's so heavily pregnant, it's not appropriate to arrest her.
She's 8 months pregnant, so we told her to call the precinct. They'll make arrangements at the precinct so she won't get locked up in that condition. See, we could lock her up in that condition anyway. No way possible.
She has kids there.
Yeah,
she has nobody to watch the kids.
So I told her to call the precinct. They'll make arrangements to get her court date arranged and everything, and then we'll be notified when you guys will be notified when you have to go to court. Is that okay?
Yep, that works. Thank you.
Good.
By people seeing the way this is taken serious in our city, maybe they'll think when they do get a pet that they need to take care of it, or there could be consequences. And they see what the consequences are. And I don't think anybody really wants to go through that over a dog, so maybe they'll either think and not get that pet, or if they get that pet, they'll care for it properly.
It will take longer than planned, but the woman will still have to answer to a court for her actions. It's been several weeks since an 11-foot Burmese python was taken into the care of the Humane Society. She's been named Millie, and wildlife specialist Jan Cannell is delighted with the way things are working out for her.
Well, I'm pleased to say that her upper respiratory infection is gone now. We treated her with antibiotics. We were able to find a wonderful placement for her with the Phoenix Herpetological Society in Scottsdale, Arizona. And we're very excited that she'll have a huge habitat and she'll be able to spend the rest of her life there. It's very difficult to place a python because we don't want a Burmese going into somebody's house. You can see how large Millie's grown, and she has the potential to grow half as big again. So we want to make sure that she's in an accredited zoo or sanctuary setting, and she'll have a nice environment.
Millie will be flying to her new home in Arizona. Making her comfortable for the journey requires careful planning.
If the temperature while she's travelling is below 50 degrees, we have to have a certificate of acclimation signed by a vet saying how long she could survive in temperatures that cold. That's not going to be the case at the moment. The weather's nice. We've got probably approximately 60-degree temperatures now. It's going to be about 80 when she gets to Arizona. But at no point during the trip can the temperature exceed 85 degrees. So we also have that limitation. But I think we're going to be safe today, and I think she's going to fly and everything's going to work out fine. And I'm really happy. This is a wonderful ending to an unhappy start of her life.
Some months ago, Java, the skinny Rottweiler, was found a new home. And now Bo has been adopted too, by Pauline Nelson.
Bo actually chose me and my husband. We was looking just for any dog that showed us attention. And Bo came to the fence immediately at the gate of the Humane Society. And I told my husband, that's the one right there. And so I put my hand to the fence and he kind of licked it. So I said, okay, let's get this one. It was like love at first sight. I noticed he was a little timid because every time I would loud noise, I'd do something, he'll do like that. But he has gotten much better. He used to be much worse than this because I'd be pushing on him. I'd be like, "Oh, that's why you jump? You too big to be jumping your big old butt." But all we had to do is bring him some food, and he was fine. Sheba, my cat, it took her a while because she like territory. She thinks she's the owner of the house and everything. When she first saw Bo, she was like, she hunched her back up and stuff. And Bo didn't even bother. He's so gentle. He just looked at her and kept walking away. She would come out here and lay right there by the stairs and dare Bo to come by her. And Bo just turn around and go the other way. He's a gentle, sweet dog. He really is. And that's why I love Bo, and that's why we have him here. I can't see how a human being could take a dog like Bo and not feed or not take care of her. And because if you take care of her, she would take care of you. That's what me did. Me love Bo, and Bo loved me.